All right, we're back, everyone. It's been about
Many,
a
many years.
month, 2 month hiatus. I think we last time we launched something was in November, so about a 2 month hiatus. But we're back for February. A little late, but better late than never, I say.
Better never than late.
And we can tell how hyped up and when this is happening. This video is being recorded, based on, of course, Sandman's Eagles gear. So
Yes.
we'll talk about that in a little bit, but we'll give our predictions, of course. For those of you watching on the video, he's dressed in all Eagles paraphernalia. So we'll give our Super Bowl predictions,
Hey,
and
what's mine?
we'll see how wrong we are or how correct we are. Yeah, let's kick it off there. How about we talk about that with the Super Bowl
Eagles.
happening? Huh?
Eagles.
Yeah, I know you're gonna pick Eagles, but I need a score from you and why. I mean,
Oh,
they're going up
30,
against. Go ahead. Go ahead.
37-34. I fucking don't know. I don't know. I don't really watch sports. The only time I actually watch football is usually the Super Bowl game. It's the only day I watch football.
I mean, right now the spread is like the point differential and like how many total points there's going to be. I checked this morning. It's like I think it was Eagles are favorited one and a half
Mm,
points, which is
yeah, something like
nothing.
that. Yeah, I know. It's going to be a tight
Um,
game. It really is. It should be a good game.
yeah, it should be a good game, and they're saying 51 points is like the total amount of points that should be on there,
Yeah,
which seems extremely high.
yeah, it
Um,
does.
roughly that. I could be off by a couple points, but
And like I said, I don't watch football. I don't follow it all at all. I'm not a big sports person at all. Period. But I keep hearing that the Eagles defense is what's going to help them win. That's all I keep hearing from everybody.
if they can contain Kelsey enough,
Yeah, I think they got it.
um, I think they have a shot. But the problem is that no team has been able to contain him enough the whole game, and
Right. Oh, if they can
he's
just
not the only power player on the team.
no, he's not. But if they contain him enough where they can get their in, they should be fine.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. I think it's going to be a close game. If I had to predict what it's going to come down to, it's going to come down to the experience that the Chiefs have, not just from a coaching perspective, but a player's perspective. The Eagles are a very young team. Obviously, have done very well this year.
Very well. Actually,
Average,
surprisingly well.
I would say, average in prior years, since their Super Bowl win 5 years ago, which, you know, leads me to believe I'm going to have to pick the Chiefs just based on that. I personally do not care either way,
I know you don't. I know you don't.
but I just have to look at that perspective and that it's going to also depend on how limited Patrick Mahomes ankle-wise is. But even with his ankle against, the previous games in the playoffs that he had that injury, he really didn't have like all he was limited to not have to like run for a first down or whatever or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be, which didn't really limit that much.
No.
So
Yeah,
it's
we'll
going to be
see.
interesting. We'll see,
Should
but
be one of the better games in recent years,
I mean
I
that's the
think.
hope, right? Because let's be honest,
That's what I'm
the
hoping for.
the whole playoffs this year, other than the one of the games, I think it was the Eagles game when they played the Giants,
They said no. Well,
was
that one
was a
and
blowout. Every other game
yeah,
was like,
it
or
was
no,
close.
sorry, it was sorry. That was the one, not that one. There was a different game.
It
That
was
was
the San
close.
Francisco game.
Yes.
The last game, the very last game they played, was San Francisco game, which
Okay, so
was
no, it wasn't that one. I can't remember which one it was, but there was one. It might have been Bengals. It was Bengals and Chiefs, I think. So that was the one that was close, but every other game was a blowout in the playoffs. So it was just boring, very boring football the entire playoffs, in my opinion.
well, no, the Eagles in San Francisco was close. I actually watched that one
No, they pulled away. They pulled away
at
once.
the end. And
the last half of the
yeah,
game, the last two
at the
quarters they
end,
pulled ahead, and
and San
then it was
Francisco
boring.
flipped.
Yeah,
I
then it was
don't know
boring.
about boring. They were pissed,
Dude,
dude.
as someone who obviously, if it was my team, I'd want them to be way ahead. But as a football fan, I want to see it be a close game, tons of amazing plays, and that only happened in one of the playoff games. You got to understand where I'm coming from.
I'm
Otherwise, it's
just
just
thinking
like
of
if it's 38-10, it's like the chances of them being able to come back at that point when you're that far down and then win it, the other team is like, there's no point. It's so
no.
boring. I turned it off.
But you also don't do what San Francisco did, which is fucking the horrible plays that they did. The throwing the one player down on the by his back was just outrageous.
Well, I mean, I think it's the Brock Purdy injury is what caused it all. But I mean, Brock
Yeah,
Purdy, can we just talk about him for a minute? And again, we're not trying to be a sports podcast for our
we're
listeners and
not.
viewers here, but it's
Definitely not.
entertainment, and we got to touch on it today.
Yes.
Um, I think Brock Purdy has a bright future in
Hmm.
the NFL, and I almost see. Obviously, it's his first year, but I mean, so it's too early to tell. But if he continues to do what he's doing with the right team, he definitely could
Helps.
be a top 10 of all time quarterback. And obviously, we're only in year one, so it's way
Yeah,
too early to tell. But
way too early.
the
But it's
fact that you were drafted
not just him.
last,
Yeah, and as well as he did.
right,
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good start to his career. But he, like you said, you have to have the right team. If you don't have the right team, your best quarterback's not going to do anything because he has no one to help him with it.
right. And I
If
think
he
you look
can't
at
catch his balls, then what's the point? He can throw perfectly, and if they can't catch it, it doesn't matter.
right, and I equate it to like looking at like Nick Foles when he won the Super Bowl.
Yes,
Like now he's
yes.
nothing. So you
Yeah,
can't
now he's
like,
nothing.
and I'm not trying to like.
And I liked Foles. I thought he was a decent player. I don't know what the fuck
Sure,
happened to him.
absolutely, and I'm not. And again, I don't want to like jinx anything, but like the same could be said about you don't know about Jalen Hurts. 2 years down the line,
True.
he could be the same way,
Yeah, he
and that's
could
just
be.
being again someone who's not an Eagles fan, just being very undecided and whatnot. The same thing could be happen. So, all you Eagles fans out there, the 12 people that listen or watch, if you're Eagles fans, don't get upset. It's
No,
just
please don't.
facts.
Yes, it
Okay?
is.
You're all
And I'm an
hyped
Eagles.
up and saying he's the best of all time. It's
No.
1 year. I want to see
Yes.
consistency. And again, I'm not a Patrick Mahomes fan, but Patrick Mahomes has been a god since he started in the NFL. And no one can deny that.
What about what's his name from New England?
Tom Brady?
That's the one.
Well, recently retired, but I mean,
Yes, but before he retired, he was consistent through all his years.
other than the last 3 years,
The
yes.
years,
But I
yes.
mean, you have to look at that's a different
Actually,
situation
the
as
last
well.
past 5 years, because when he lost to the Eagles, I think he gave up then.
To
I
some
really think
degree,
I think he was starting to give up at that point. I
to
really
some
do.
degree, but I think you look at the fact that the guy had some of the best protection
Oh God, yeah.
his whole career. He had the best receivers and tight ends
Hmm.
his whole career. You put him on an average team with maybe one superstar, maybe two.
He wouldn't
I
have done as
honestly
well, I
think
don't
he
think.
would not have been the GOAT.
I think so too. I agree with you on
Tremendous
that
talent.
100%.
Absolutely. Tremendous talent, but it's a
Had the
team.
right team with it.
Right. So that's my opinion. No one ever agrees with me there, but
Actually, I do. I agree with you on
well, I
that
know
one
you do, but
100%.
like most people just like
I'm
say
also not
like,
a sports fan, so what I say doesn't mean jack shit.
but that's the point of it is that everyone's like, no, he's the best, he's the best. I'm like, yeah, but
Yeah.
look at
Look
other
what
QBs
we
that are
had.
really good that don't have quality
The
people
team.
around them and
Yeah.
that still do well.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
Josh Allen, Tua, like
Are you speaking
Daniel
Greek?
Jones, like those are decent QBs that they don't have superstars around them, but they're still decent, and that's how Tom Brady would have been, I think.
I agree.
So, but
So that's our sports wrap up.
there you go. That's our sports wrap up for the. So we have our predictions in, not scores, but at least who might be the winner. And I guess next podcast we record, we'll talk about it. But when this gets
Yeah,
released,
they
it'll be already
won,
be
they
post.
didn't. End of
Exactly.
discussion.
It'll be post Super Bowl by then when this gets released, probably. So
Yeah.
you guys will be able to say, haha, you
Listen,
were right or you
or
were wrong or
you're wrong.
whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so since we've been on our little 2 month hiatus, there's been a lot that's gone on in gaming and movies,
And
shows as
TV.
well.
Yep.
Number of shows coming back that I personally watched that we can touch on. I know you want to touch on a few that have come out already.
Hmm.
There's a bunch that haven't come out yet, one that has. I think we should start with games. And I think it would be wrong of us not to highlight one of the biggest ones uh, that's been the highest rated watched and streamed so far on Twitch since its release on early access through the 10th, and that would be Hogwarts Legacy. Millions of people have been tuning in to watch that. I only played the prologue so far on it because I guess a lot of PC players have been having the same issue I have, which is
Yeah.
lagging and stuff like that. So they're working on fixing it. But Hogwarts Legacy, taking place in 1890, you not it's I've seen more people now relate it to Fable in the way that the gameplay
Ah,
is.
I heard that too.
Yeah. So
And the only part I saw was what you streamed so far. That's it.
well, you'll see
I
more
have not
Tuesday.
played. Oh, well, if I'm around, I don't know if I'm around or not, but I'll definitely try to be there.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get it next time I get paid.
Yeah, it's I definitely would recommend at least the initial part that I played. I mean, 9 out of 10 on Steam, 95% on Google. Such high ratings, a lot of positive stuff, but
A
some
lot of
bugs and stuff
backlash
to
though,
work out.
but not because of the game, but because of the creator of the whole series.
What's that?
I said a lot of backlash though, but not because of with the game and the gameplay or anything. It's all because of that stupidity stuff of J.K. Rowling's.
Yeah, and I
And
think
you know what? If that's your opinion on the artist, that's fine. You're allowed your opinion. Don't bash people for liking what they like.
right, and I think it goes back to you look at businesses like Nike or like
Hmm.
Apple or even teams like the Patriots, for instance. Like in every aspect of stuff that people like or support, there's controversy there. You look at Nike with the factories and the child labor that they get scrutiny over, and probably still to this day. Apple the same way. The
Yep.
Patriots with all of the scandals that they've had, not only with the players, but the overall team and the coaching aspect that they've had in their past. And you know what? There's no need to bash the fans
No.
about supporting the
What they
good
support.
parts about that. And they
Yes.
realize the bad, and trust me, they're not accepting of it and they're not promoting that bad part.
No.
But I think the point I make is that no matter what you're looking at, no one is perfect. And I'm not trying to justify what she said
No.
at all
Neither
because
am
it
I.
was
And neither am
terrible and
I.
awful, and I will never support her. But I still enjoy the books,
Yep.
the
I still
movies,
enjoy the movie
and the games,
games.
and the lore of it all.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, and she's not really involved in any of that anymore, anyways.
Anymore? No,
So
she's not. Not
you know
really.
what? It's not like she created this whole thing.
Well, she did create the whole thing
No,
just by
like
the
the
first
game
book
though.
itself. Yeah, I know, but
So
she created the world. Now we get to play in it,
yeah,
and she has no longer any say in it whatsoever.
exactly. Um,
Just
but
like George Lucas in Star Wars, he created it. He has no say in it anymore. Everyone else does. Of
yep.
course, again, they're doing horrible with the movies, but the game's pretty cool.
Well, the sequels. We've talked about this in depth on this
Yes,
podcast.
I'm just giving it
Uh,
as an example. That's all.
of course. But I think it's good so far. Apparently, there's not many consequences when it comes to. Um, I
People
shouldn't
were
say
not
consequences, but there's not like a. What am I trying to say? Like a good versus evil like
people. Yeah,
scale. Like you can still be
no.
good and use the bad spells, but apparently the world around you will like know that you're using the bad spells. But it's
Mm.
not like you know what I mean. There's not like a morality sort
You're
of.
not that far into it, so maybe doesn't kick in until after you get to the school.
I don't know. That's just what I've heard in some posts and stuff. I'm probably gonna do a good playthrough, and then I can always go back and do more of a dark one later. But
You
um,
too dark. You're right.
No, I've done it before in games, but I like to do like the good playthrough. That's usually what I pick. So,
I'm the evil one.
well, there's been a ton of memes on. It was funny. There was memes. I think I shared one with you or talked about it, but there was a video meme of this guy dressed up in Harry Potter gear, and it was in movie one slash book one when they're in the charms class, and Hermione's like telling the students it's Leviosa, not Leviosa, like how to say a certain spell, and the guy's just looking at her like with just like a expressionless face and like shocked and surprised, like why are you telling me this? Like shut up. And as soon as she stops, he it's Voldemort's voice, and he's like Avada Kedavra, and he just shoots Hermione, and it's funny, it's hilarious because it's basically
I don't remember you telling me that.
the joke about that you have the ability to do that once you learn the
Yeah.
spells. So it's funny.
Yeah.
So definitely excited to continue to play through that. Um,
Yes.
I know there's a bunch more games coming out. Assassin's Creed's coming out with a new game.
Yep.
Fire
The day before.
Emblem, Final
The
Fantasy
day.
as well.
The day before is coming out soon.
Day before, I'm sure that's one you're going to play or want to touch on.
Yes. Yes. That's one I'm going to be highly playing as soon as it comes out.
So tell
I
tell me
can't
a
wait
little bit
for it.
about that because I'm not aware of
It's
that one.
basically an MMO survival, set in a post-zombie apocalyptic world.
You and your zombies.
Yeah, you gotta love the zombie games, man. They're phenomenal, and this one looks absolutely fantastic. I
Nice.
mean, you get to team up with your friends if you want to. You get to battle other friends if you want to, and you get to battle the zombies and survive like realistically in a world. You got to hunt for stuff. You got to build your own weapons. You build your own base, drive the cars, everything.
Nice.
Yeah, so it should be pretty good.
I like
I'm
the
hoping
sound of
for it
that.
anyway. Yeah, it does. It sounds great. It sounds like what Fallout 76 should have been.
Yeah, I never played that one, but just that would be a good one. They just have to do it right.
Yes,
That's the
and it
problem.
looks like they're doing it right. At least the day before is. So,
Um, I know Star Wars Jedi Survivor
Survivor's coming soon.
uh, was supposed to come out in March, got
They
pushed to
pushed it
end of
back.
April. That's
Yeah,
fine. We've talked about this
so long as they're doing it
before.
right.
Exactly.
Yes.
We've talked about it before. Push it back. And in my opinion, that's fine because when they released the first one, Last Jedi, not Last Jedi. What's the first one? I don't know.
All in order.
Fallen Order. There was like, to my knowledge, there was no bugs in that game.
I heard very few.
Like, not noticeable bugs at all.
No, nothing that not game breaking bugs.
Right.
Just something that's just like something floated by. Oh, look at that. Okay, that's a bug. Okay, and keep them going.
Right.
Something like that.
Which, push back a game, that's fine. Just like,
Yeah,
be
get
realistic
it
with your
done.
timeline as well, because pushing back games constantly, like they did with Cyberpunk, we see what happened there. Give it a realistic timeline if you're going to do it. And then if you have to push
Ooh.
back once, that's fine. So, definitely excited for that. I think that's the gameplay that they did with the original is good. The one thing I would say, and I hope they're going to do, is that any of the skills that you learned in the first one, just let us start with those ones and then
Yes,
build on it.
yes.
Don't go.
Don't
The
make us
games
go back.
companies always do it where they're like, "Oh, you're back to square one." No,
No, fuck
fuck
that.
that. Just I already know all the shit from the first one.
Yes,
Let me start with it and build upon it. Banjo
I agree.
Kazooie 2 did that,
Did
where
they?
you started with all the abilities from Banjo Kazooie 1, and now you're okay. You already know how to play. Go. Like,
See, and to put it the other way, God of War, they always took your fucking abilities away and made you start all over again in every fucking game.
yeah, it's
That
it's
always irritated the hell out of me.
it's bullshit.
Yeah, this
Um,
looks interesting.
we'd be remiss not to mention the Dead Space remake slash
Remake, yes.
remaster that our good friend LFF Chaos streamed and loved, and a lot of people love it. So that looked really nice and pristine.
Of the original,
Hmm.
didn't play the remake yet, but
Yeah.
just came out, so I'll
Yep.
wait till the price goes down. I'm a broke motherfucker. I gotta wait.
And
This looks into Tron Identity is coming out, which is a puzzle-like game. It's set in the Tron universe.
Nice. When's that coming out?
Looks like in April,
Yeah, there's a lot of
and
good
it
ones
looks
coming
like
out this year.
yeah, and it looks like your decisions affect how the game plays. I like those games.
Yeah, Witcher 3 does a lot of. There's like,
Telltale games like the Walking Dead one that was good.
yeah, there's like
They're
15 endings to that one.
yeah, there's good games like that. Been a while since I had a good one like that. That's all I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, the rest are, not big ones. We'll highlight them, of course, in later podcasts. Your last one, I would
Yeah,
say, that's coming out, and actually, you'll probably about a month and a week is Resident Evil 4 remake, which
yes.
I basically got to the second last chapter, and then the Steam version never let me continue because there was a glitch that wouldn't let me continue.
I
So
remember that. I remember that.
I might go back and see if they fixed it, and I'll finish the stream finally. But otherwise, I'm not going to pay like 70, $80 for
No, fuck
the
no.
same game. No. But that's
And
just.
and the game you've been waiting for is still coming out soon. Was it the Bethesda game and Stars and all? The fuck was that called
I
again?
mean, Starfield, I mean,
That's
I
it.
will. I will buy that probably a month after, just
Yes.
because I know it's
That
gonna
says
have
no for
glitches.
games for bugs.
Yeah, and there's no like who knows how it's gonna be, and it's just not worth it.
Looks interesting though. I'll give it that.
Yeah, I mean it's could be good, but like the fact that Bethesda, like in just my opinion, they're releasing too much shit. Like Bethesda's also releasing Redfall, May
That
2nd.
I heard is not great.
Well, it's being released soon.
I guess whoever did the beta tests or whatever, because they released it for a short period of time for people to play.
Yeah,
I, from what I heard,
yeah.
I didn't play, so I don't know. But I heard it just like fell short.
You know, it is what it is. I think
Yeah.
Bethesda's got to get rid of Todd Howard
Oh God, yeah.
because like you haven't had widely successful games in a while.
hmm No,
Like
they
you
haven't.
can call Skyrim successful, I guess, but you redid it to death
To
with
death.
7 different releases.
Yeah.
And your ESO, even though was pretty good, was not as successful as it should have been, in my
No.
opinion.
And your Fallout 76 was not as successful either.
Right. Still good and widely bought
Well,
because
good.
people
Yes,
like those
yes.
things, but not as groundbreaking as they should be.
And I heard Forspoken, I heard, was kind of a flop as well.
I don't know that one.
It's open world RPG where your magic abilities and everything is like parkour.
Parkour.
That yeah, that's the gameplay is parkour based. Yeah, and people say everything about the game is empty. It's like it's just big open world. There's like nothing in it, but the parkour fighting style is fantastic.
Fighting style, but there's nothing to do.
But there's nothing to do exactly, and that's why it kind of flopped. And
Yeah.
hopefully they can fix that. And that was Square X, the Final Fantasy people.
Yeah. That's surprising then.
Yeah, it is.
Just a couple of ones to name. We don't have to go into them, but Pikmin 4 coming out from Nintendo.
And the Zelda one from
Dead Island
Nintendo's coming
2.
soon.
Yeah, Zelda. Um, I don't know how to feel about it. I feel like I'm just too tied into the classic ones.
What, Zelda?
Yeah.
The Zelda game was phenomenal.
Um, Tears of the Kingdom is the one coming out in
It's the
2023.
one coming out. Yes, that looks phenomenal.
It's apparently a direct sequel to Breath of the Wild, so I
It
mean, we'll
is.
see.
Yeah. And they don't do that. So it should be good. Let's
Yeah,
hope.
not direct. They do like related sequels, but
Yeah, but nothing like directly after. And that's what
well,
they're doing this time, so
yeah,
I
but
hope
they're
they do
you
it
know they're
right.
gonna start you. You know, I'd be very very shocked just to the
If
point we
you
made where if they start you with all the shit.
Yeah, I know.
Which if they did that'd be great. Then they
That
could
would be
make the game
fantastic.
harder, like a Dark Souls
Right away.
almost hard.
Yes.
But they won't.
Like instantly.
No.
Hey, you never know.
All right. movie wise, I don't know of many
Movie-wise.
that are going to be released in 2023, at least not yet. Um,
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
so
That's coming out in 2023.
sorry, Tay, but I don't care about the Marvel
Ah,
as much as you
you
do.
better hope Tay don't hear that.
Creed 3 coming out in March.
Don't care. Done
Um,
with Rocky, man. Come
Scream
on.
6.
Another one I don't give a fuck about.
Shazam as well.
That
John,
I am
your
interested
favorite,
in.
John Wick, Chapter 4.
Yes, John Wick. I'm dying for it to come out. I've been
The
waiting. They pushed that back way too long.
the guy that never ages.
The guy that never ages. He drinks blood of virgins just to stay alive. I don't know. I'm just.
The one that I feel like is going to be hilarious, almost to a point where I think it's not going to be like very good, like the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh yeah, I don't
But
know how I feel about that one.
I don't know really what to expect. I didn't see
Yeah.
enough of a trailer to understand what the story's going to be.
Renfield looks interesting. That's the new Nicolas Cage where he's Dracula. It looks interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I mean,
Yeah.
he's just it's a little iffy there.
He's 50-50 in my book.
Yeah.
Like half his movies are good, the other half just fucking suck.
Well, you know what? Speaking of movies that have begun to suck more and more, the Fast and Furious movies.
Yes, I
Fast
agree with you.
10 is coming out.
Yes, and
But it's
Andy
part
will beat
one.
you.
Apparently, there's two
Uh,
parts to it.
really?
Uh, and
They
then they're
couldn't
done.
wrap it
That's
up.
the end of it. Then there's no
I
more
thought they
Fast
were doing
movies.
two more.
No, I think
Oh,
Fast 10's the
thank
last
God.
one.
Oh, please let it be.
As much as it's rumored to be the last one. It's gonna drop next year.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
Candy will be heartbroken. She loves those movies.
no, they were good. Like
The first three.
Fast 6 is where it got to be a little like
Yeah.
extreme, and that was where they should have cut it off.
Yes, I agree.
But Fast 5 is really how they could have ended it properly.
Yes, yes. Evil Dead Rise should be pretty good. The
Yeah,
Evil Dead franchise getting a little bit of reboot, I guess.
yeah.
I mean, the only thing is that Bruce Campbell ain't going to be in it.
Well, I mean, eventually some of these like remakes or whatever you want to call them, they're gonna have to bring in new people, right?
Yeah, no, I know, and I think that's what they're trying to do with this one, and it looks phenomenal. So I hope they do it like Hellraiser.
Hmm.
The new Hellraiser reboot that they did was phenomenal. So I hope they give it the same amount of love.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, I know Guardians of the Galaxy is getting.
I like them.
Yeah, they do a good job with those. I'll
Yeah,
say that.
I like those.
I know Transformers is possibly going to be getting something a little bit later, which another
Yeah,
one of the
Rise of the Beast, I think it's called.
have they been have they done well, the Transformers movies?
Not really.
So like
I'm not. The first one was the only one I liked. The other, I did not like any of the others. They just Michael Bay needs to get kicked off of it.
it just seems like when I remember like the cartoon series,
Yes.
it just seems like they obviously a ton of filler, but they
Hmm.
did well enough with the important storylines that why would you not just do the movies based on that?
Yeah, I agree.
Like it just seems a little like I don't know.
You could say the same about X-Men.
Yeah, but X-Men at least had more decent ones overall.
Yes,
Other
true.
than the one where he gets shot in the head and like survives or whatever.
Oh, Wolverine Origins,
Like he's
that one.
like, you know,
And
he
Deadpool's in it, but it's not Deadpool.
he like forgets like everything, but
Yeah,
it's like that was kind of
that was kind of stupid. The
you
one
know
I'm excited for though is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
yeah, it's like a cartoon though, right?
Yes, yes, it's animated. Yes.
That could go well.
Well, there. This is a sequel to Spider-Man um, Into the Spider-Verse.
See, the part that I'm like, I just don't know how I feel about like the different types of universes that are like, oh, but now they're in this universe, and this universe, and these people are doing
Oh
this
no,
in this universe, and all. It's just like just stick with the one. Why do we have to go to
No,
like ones where there's
this one
like?
they did a great job with this
All
with the
right.
last movie. It was phenomenal.
I don't
It
disagree,
was
but my point is like it's just you're getting too complicated and like
the
reaching too
multiverse has
much.
always been a big thing in movies.
I don't. I disagree. I
You
didn't
haven't
really
watched
see it
many of them.
become with the Marvel movies, but that's the
I'm
only.
not just talking about Marvel. I'm talking like Jet Li's the one. Did you ever see that?
No.
Well, there you go.
When did that come out?
God, early 2000s.
Hmm. What was it about?
Well,
Jet Li?
Jet Li, yes, Jet Li's the one. It's called the one.
Sounds like a character from the last Airbender.
Came out in 2001, and it's done it dual role. International star Jet Li portrays Gabriel Yulaw, a police officer confronted with a sinister form of himself, escaping from an advanced parallel universes intent on killing Gabriel. His alter ego hunts him and tries to kill him so he can absorb his energy and become the one true person in all of the universes.
See, I think my point is more so you have a very established storyline like in Marvel, and now you're doing all this like
Yeah.
alternate
Or
universe
DC.
stuff, which is basically it's kind of like its own timeline.
Yeah.
It's not like the part of the real timeline. So it's I don't know. It's just I don't know.
DC's doing the same thing
Of
with the
course, I
Flash, I
mean
think.
it's the competition between the two.
No, I'm not that
Um,
interested in seeing the Flash.
One that I am very not optimistic about, but of course I'm going to go see it, is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Oh man, no,
I just don't have high hopes for it.
I don't either. I have no hopes for it to be on. I want to see it, and I hope it's good, but I highly doubt it is, especially the turd they put out last time.
Well, let's be honest. That one was good up until like probably 60% of the movie when they got into like the mind control crystal skulls. It was
Aliens.
good up until then. Then
If they
then
said
it was kind of
aliens,
like, all right, well, now we're talking about aliens and
yeah,
come on. Like you had it up till then.
yeah,
Like it could have just been like a city of gold kind of thing and which would have been
yes,
okay.
yeah,
And
that would have been
now it's
fine.
like
Well, I'm surprised they didn't break out the Spear of Destiny.
hmm. I mean, so the Dial of Destiny, I don't know what to expect because
Neither do I.
what the hell is this Dial of Destiny?
And this is going to be his last shot at it, isn't it?
Well,
Isn't
they're
Harrison Ford
ending it.
done?
They're not doing according to whoever holds the rights to Indiana Jones. They're not gonna like. I mean, I'm sure 20 years down the line they could,
Yeah,
but like they're not gonna like kind of like
reboot
with
it.
James Bond. They're not gonna like reboot it into like a new
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
which
I
I
hope not.
like because if they do this right, this movie right,
And end it right.
then I feel like I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
So we'll see. I mean, they got a great cast.
that's true. They do.
So that's a good thing. Antonio Banderas, Mads Mikkelsen, um, obviously Harrison Ford, and they de-aged him for some stuff. So we'll see. I just don't know. I don't Dial of Destiny. Obviously, it's
Uh,
always that like kind of like not
Iffy.
futuristic, but like kind of you know, lore like kind
I
of
mean,
stuff.
are you going to go see the Barbie movie?
Oh, absolutely. First in line.
I know you are. Ryan Gosling's in it. Isn't he your favorite actor?
No, not at all. Um, and everything else is a little too early to talk about, in
Yeah,
my
it's a little
opinion.
early. Yeah,
Not
it
as
looks
enough
like all the better
information.
movies are at the end of the year, so we'll talk about them then.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but
Well, what I'm looking at, I'm thinking the best movies are towards the end.
yeah, you probably want to see Wonka,
Actually, I
starring
would.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, I don't even know who the hell that is.
You don't know who Timothy Chalamet is? Look it up.
I am right now.
Come on now.
He looks familiar, but I can't place him.
He's in everything.
Oh, he's in Dune. That's what he was in. That's what I
Well,
recognize
a
him
lot
in.
of stuff, but
He was Dune.
he was Dune.
He was Dune. He was in Dune. That's what I know.
Um,
Gremlins 3 out in December. I
yeah,
know it's
cause
far away, but I love the Gremlins movies.
yeah, cause I saw Gremlins 1 and 2, where I'm gonna see Gremlins 3.
Damn right I am.
I did not see Gremlins 1 and 2, just so you know.
Yeah, wow. Wow.
What do you mean,
Why
wow?
not? One of the best Christmas movies ever made.
Yeah, just like Die Hard. You should go, why don't you go watch The Nun 2?
I didn't watch the first one.
I feel like, well, you like those kind of things. Go watch it.
Eh, no.
No.
No. You watch Gremlins first, then I'll watch the Nun.
No.
Yep, there
False,
you go.
false hippopotamus. I'm watching too much other stuff right now.
Yeah, right.
And I don't even have the
Which?
time to watch a lot of it. But I'm watching stuff. And we should mention one more. Mission Impossible 7.
They
Because,
need to stop.
there's.
They need to fucking
And
stop.
guess what?
Jesus Christ.
Mission Impossible 8 next year. So
I
it's
know,
part
I
1 and
know.
2. I don't know how much they're doing, but they've been doing it
I'll give
for.
Tom Cruise props. He can do the stunts.
Oh,
Props to you on that. I just hope one of these days you just die so we can stop watching these fucking movies.
they've been
My
doing them for.
God,
They have been
decades.
doing it. Tom Cruise himself has been in the series for 27 years.
Yes, decades. Jesus Christ.
It's crazy.
Enough's enough already. You're not James Bond. You're never going to be in the league of James Bond. Stop.
Yeah. Um, I wonder, though, speaking of James Bond, if we can, before we transition to talk about shows, like, who could be the next James Bond?
It has to be an English guy.
Well, yeah.
I think Simon Pegg would be a good one.
They were talking about possibly having a female 007,
I don't
Lashana
know how I
Lynch.
like it. I don't know how I like about that. No, I'm not the biggest Bond fan in the world. I mean, I'll watch them, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If it's on, I'll watch it. That's about it. Um, so yeah, female, not female, doesn't really matter to me. As long as whoever the actress is, does the role justice, then I'm fine with that. I got no issue with that. But James Bond, it's Bond, man.
My problem is that I just think that Daniel Craig redid it so well,
Mm.
almost back to like the original,
No,
that
when you're talking about the original, what original are you talking about?
like um Sean Connery, more
Okay, okay.
like
All right, that's
more
fine. Because
like
Sean Connery was not the first, actually. He was
no, I
second.
know, but like more like the classic one where it was just
Yeah.
like his wit and his
Yes.
like brain and bronze. Like,
See, that's the Bond I like. Sean Connery was Bond for me.
see, Daniel Craig was for me because that's when I got into it, obviously. But
Yeah.
like I've seen clips and movies of um Pierce Brosnan, and it's just like it was so cheesy.
Yeah, I didn't like
So
his
it's
at
like
all.
these ones were more like, and he had some like deep emotions to it. So you need to continue
Mhm.
that.
Yes, definitely.
But it's just I don't know. I mean, I would have to imagine that they're gonna choose somebody by the end of this year, early next year.
Probably. Probably.
Just who though? I don't know.
I don't know, but they better pick the right person.
And it's got to be someone in my opinion, who's like in their early 40s.
Yes.
So you can have
Late
like
30s, late 30s, early 40s,
I would say
somewhere around
late
there.
30s. Now that you said that, just because that way
Yeah,
you can extend it.
extend it a little longer. Yeah.
That yeah, because I mean, God, he was like in his like early 60s when he was still playing Bond, which is no problem.
Yes.
But like,
No, but
I don't know.
he's retired from it all completely anyway.
Right. But anyways, more to come from that, I guess, and we'll see what happens. But there's too many people
In the running.
in the running to figure out who it could be. So we'll see.
Let's just hope they pick wisely. Choose wisely.
So TV shows,
Yes, lots of them.
certainly a lot there, and we would be remiss again to not highlight the most prominent one happening right now and the most highly rated one of 2023 to my knowledge so far, which is The Last of Us.
The Last of Us. I don't.
9.2 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah,
A 97% score on Rotten Tomatoes.
that it is.
So obviously you guys know the games. Um,
Well, we hope you do anyway.
Apparently they are setting up, which I don't know how they're going to do this, but they're setting up
Neither
the
do I.
last of season 1 to tie into so season 2 can kind of be part of the part 2 video game.
Yeah,
So is it
and I
just going to
believe
be 2 seasons?
I don't know because I believe they're making the third game right now.
Right. So like
So I don't know.
is it going to be The Last of Us part like The Last of Us season 2 isn't going to come out till like 2025?
Right?
That way they have enough of a break for this third season to be part 3, or are they going
Right.
to add in other stuff and filler and storyline where
Well,
it
they
could
could
make
do
it to
that.
2?
They could do that if they do it right.
Right.
But if they do it wrong, they're going to lose their fan base, and that's going to be the end of the show.
I mean, they've killed it so far. It's
Yeah,
just
no, no, they from what little I haven't watched all. I haven't even watched all episode one yet, but what little I did see, it's dead on.
sure. But then
You know,
again, you don't have to have a show like be 5, 6, 7 seasons. Like if you
no,
can
you
tell the
don't.
story in
Then three to
in three
four,
seasons, 4, that's fine.
yeah, and then done.
If it's going to be quality. Obviously,
Yes,
if you leave the audience wanting more, you've done your job.
done the
As
job
long as you've told the
exactly.
story.
And they still want more. You
Right.
done right.
Right.
And then you
Um,
could always go back and try something different with it after you're done telling the first story.
sure. Absolutely.
You know,
The risk, and that's the
uh,
risk you get with TV shows. I mean,
it is. It is. Well, that's what I'm hoping for that they do with Fallout because they just wrapped up filming for that.
right.
Um, and I just hope they do a great job. But the one actor I know that they have, which is oh, what the fuck's his name? He's in Justified. I can't think of his name.
I don't know.
Let me see here. There it is. What's his fucking name? Walton Goggins.
Oh yeah, we
Yes.
talked about him.
Yes, he is a phenomenal actor. I mean, everything he does, he kills it.
Right.
So that they got him gives me a lot of hope for this series.
Yeah, I agree. Um, any shows in particular that you want to mention? Because I have quite a
A
number.
thousand. The only other one I can think of is Wednesday.
Yep.
I actually finished watching that. I highly recommend it. It's a great show. Tim Burton did a perfect job on it. Kept true to everything with while adding new stuff to it. Just perfect. You couldn't have asked for a better person to do it.
Yeah, and already renewed for season 2.
I'd already renewed for season two. Yeah, I think um, like before people saw everything, like the first like 3 episodes, and they're like, "Yep, they watched enough. Do it."
Well, that's what they did for. Well, I guess they released it differently, but same thing happened. I think for Last of Us and
Yep,
that '90s show on Netflix as well. They already
yep,
they renewed those
yeah.
pretty quickly.
Yeah, Night Court was also renewed
Yeah, I'm
for a
surprised
second
about
season.
that because the ratings of Night Court are not like high enough where I thought they would have
And
kept
it's
it.
on TV, and it was the highest rated TV show.
See, when you looked at the ratings, it was like
I
five
know, but it
point
wasn't that
something.
big. But not many people are watching on television, basic TV anymore. They're watching streaming services. So it got the highest rating out of every show.
That's where the bar is now on general
That's where the bar
TV.
is. Yes, yes, that's where
God,
the bar is in general TV. That's how low people are watching TV shows now.
I will
They're
tell you.
going streaming services instead.
I
It's a
will.
great show though. They did it
No,
perfectly.
I heard it was good. I haven't watched it yet, but
I watched the first episode. That's it so far. It was great.
yeah, they brought back that the original guy. The
And Fielding, John
no, what's his role? He's like
and Fielding
no,
is
but
his name in the show.
yeah, but his role in the court, the
He was a prosecutor.
yeah, like the court appointed prosecutor, right?
He was the district attorney.
Yeah.
He's not a district attorney in this one.
Was he just like the court-appointed prosecutor?
No, he's trying to help them get them free. He's
Right.
not prosecuting them. He's helping them instead,
Well,
which is a
whatever. The
complete
court
opposite role
appointed
for him.
the court appointed defense attorney. Like if you can't afford
Yeah.
an attorney, one's appointed for you.
Yes,
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. One show that I'm glad is ending. I just don't think they're going to end it well. Is The Blacklist.
Ah,
10
yes.
seasons. Last
Way
one
too
is
much.
releasing actually this month, and I'm glad because they extended it way too long.
Too long. Yeah.
Um,
Did
hope
he
they
kill
end
that
it
fucker
well.
yet?
What's that?
Did he kill that fucker yet?
I mean,
Isn't that
either
what the basis of the show is? Him running from the FBI or whatever?
not running
And
from the
then,
FBI, but it's just interesting of how are they going to end him? Like kill him at the end of the show? Like what's going to happen? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. I'm already committed, obviously, where I have to watch the last season, but it's not gonna end well, I'm afraid. But some other shows that I've watched since our and that are coming out since we talked last. Jack Ryan on Amazon. Phenomenal job with season 3. If you're gonna watch it, I won't spoil it, but very much centered around the espionage and like Russia and spy stuff like that. So they definitely kicked it up a notch from season 2, and season 4 is already filmed, as far as I know,
what
and
was
that
this
should be
again?
coming out next year.
What was the show again?
Jack Ryan.
Oh, okay.
So last season, season 4 coming out next year, which I'm fine with because
Did
it's a
they
good show. But is it like one of those like best shows of all time? No, but it's still a good show.
did they make movies out of that character?
They did. It was what's his face from the Star Trek series. He
Chris Pine.
yes, he played him.
Yeah, that was a good movie. I actually liked the movie.
Yeah, the show's good. Season 1 was really good. Season 2
Was it?
was okay, but season 3 kicked it back up to being really good. So but again, not like a top show for me. Top
And not just him, but Harrison Ford was Jack
Red
Ryan as well.
October, yeah.
Right in October, Clear and Present Danger, Patriot Games.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, they did a
they
good
were
job.
they were pretty good movies. Yeah,
Well, they have like Jack Reacher, which is involved in that world. They have the show
yeah.
around that I haven't seen. I want them to do, but they still haven't.
Jack
Uh,
Reacher wasn't that was that our man,
Our man?
the one we were just talking about?
No, Chris Pine. No,
No, Mission Impossible.
no,
Tom?
it's not Tom Cruise.
No, really, because I'm looking at it right here.
The
Jack
TV
Reacher, the movies.
series?
No,
No,
the movies. The movies.
no, I'm not
I'm
talking
talking
about
about
the
the
TV
movies.
series.
I'm talking about the movies. He was
Oh,
the one who did the movies.
okay. Well, I'm talking about the series. I don't give a shit about the movies.
Thought they were good movies. You should watch them.
Um, no, I want to watch the series first because it's highly rated. Um, that '90s show, sequel to that '70s, I thought it was
Yeah,
pretty good, and
I didn't watch it yet.
it definitely, obviously the two pillars of it are Kitty and Red. Um,
Which they don't look like they aged at all.
um, very little, very
Yeah,
little, but it's also like someone made a comment like, oh, like and I'm not gonna ruin it, but like Red's mellowed a little bit. It's like, yeah, but you have to understand like
he's older.
grandparents grandparents when like they were like obviously very strict parents to their kids, they're way more
They're
mellow to the
more,
grandkids,
yes,
so it's like
definitely.
it's played perfectly in that regards in my opinion.
Yes, I agree with you on that. That's
um
the way it should have been.
yeah, so they've done a good job. Arcane is coming back this year. Nervous about how
Uh,
that's going to go, but highly
I haven't
rated the
seen it.
first season. Ted Lasso, last season of that is going
Nope,
to be
haven't
coming
watched
out.
that either.
Oh, phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal show with what's his face from Horrible Bosses. Um,
Is it the one from Always Sunny in Philadelphia as well?
no.
Okay, then I don't know.
Um,
What's
or
what's the show?
or was it Ted Lasso?
Ted Lasso.
Jason Sudeikis.
AKB.
Jason
Right.
Sudeikis.
Yes.
He does a phenomenal job in that show. I'm sad it's ending after 3 seasons.
Yeah, it's him. What else was he in? We're the Millers. That's what I know him from.
Huh?
We're the Millers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He phenomenal job at being. It's very much like the comedy is not like The Office, where it's just like stupid, like
Yeah, I didn't watch The
comedy.
Office.
It's more like smart comedy with a mix of drama in there.
He's a good actor. I like. He's funny. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did a great job. So sad that it's the last season, but again, goes back to my motto of end it when it needs to be ended.
Yes.
This one's already come out, but I didn't get to see it when it was on TV, so I'm watching it when it releases on Netflix in the spring. But Better Call Saul,
Oh yes, you and me both. I can't wait for the last season.
so very excited for that.
Yes, so am I.
Sad that he got snubbed for.
I didn't watch the season before either yet. So.
No, 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 no. Award ceremony.
Oh, okay.
He got snubbed. No, 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 no,
Did
no.
he?
You didn't watch season 5?
Not yet. No. I'm
Dude,
waiting
what are you
for.
doing?
I'm going to binge watch the whole thing from season 1 to season 6.
Come on, man. I'm disappointed.
Shh,
You need to
doing it my way.
watch some of it before next podcast.
Yeah. Okay. I'll
Um,
get right on that.
I
I got
talked
more
about
shit to watch.
Blacklist, Mandalorian coming back as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Just as I predicted, how they ended season 2 tying into what season 3 is going to be about,
Just
which
hope so.
the fight for Mandalore
Yes, I figured as much.
is what I'm alluding is from the trailers and stuff.
All right.
And then The Witcher,
Eh,
which we got to talk about that.
not happy about it.
I mean, season 3 will be good, but now I'm nervous about season 4 because just
Yeah.
the way that he looks is just like,
Doesn't look anything like him.
ugh, it looks so bad.
It's no, it's not.
With
Get Henry back. Get Henry back.
which then didn't he like they moved on from him for Superman anyways after he said
Hmm.
he was leaving to be Superman, and they're like, nah, you know what? We don't want you for
We don't
Superman.
want you anyway. Yeah, we don't want you for Superman.
So like
But that
go
wasn't.
back then.
He can't now
Why not?
because he's going to do the Warhammer 4000
Yeah,
instead.
because that's gonna get more like
As many people as play that fucking game, yes.
yeah, and then when it sucks,
Don't go there, man. He's actually a huge player in that. I think he'll make a good one.
just because he's good and he's a good player doesn't mean that it's gonna be a good show.
True. I don't know if it's a show or a movie. I don't know. I don't know much about it. I'm not a big fan of the stuff myself, so I don't know. Actually, you should V ask him. He'd know. He plays that shit, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah. So he probably knows. He's probably
Um,
excited for it. I'm not a big fan into it, so I don't know. Oh, but one of the movies I am excited for, but going that route is the Dungeons and Dragons movie. Not sure when that's coming
Stranger
out, but
Things.
no, Dungeons and Dragons movie, jackass.
Stranger Things.
I'm gonna slap you when I see you.
That's pretty much what it is.
Well, no, but I'm talking about the actual movie
I know.
about
I just
Dungeons.
got to give you shit, but that's basically what it is. Let's be
Uh,
honest.
That's a show. I'm talking about a movie,
Okay, fair enough.
and I'm excited for it. I mean, I think Chris Pine's actually in that, and so is Hugh Grant. They look like they did it justice. So I'm hoping it is.
Well, I'm hopeful for you, man, but
Yeah.
again, probably not something that I'm gonna watch.
Probably not. No, probably not something you're gonna watch.
The problem is that I looked at like I keep a running list of stuff like of shows that people recommend and movies. It's like, and I was talking about this with some friends the other day. Probably, let's be fair and say 8 years ago. 8 years ago, there wasn't 30 shows that all had a rating of 7 and higher that were out at one time. And you have to agree with me there. And obviously streaming services is part of that reason. But you look at it now, there's so many shows out right now. Probably 20, will be a little more conservative. 20 shows out right now. And they all, if you look up their ratings on IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, all have a rating above 7, which means they're a pretty good show. Like, that did not happen like 8 to 10 years ago.
No, it didn't.
There's
Well, here's proof to you right here. one show I do want to watch. 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's 8.2 on IMDb. It's Poker Face.
Hmm. I've heard the name.
Um, yeah, it's the chick from American Pie and Orange is the New Black and Russian Doll. I'm a huge fan of hers. I love everything. She's a phenomenal actress. That's the only reason I want to watch it. But this actually looks really good.
Was she in You're not talking about the actress from How I Met Your Mother.
No, 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 no,
Which
not
one?
her. Um, redhead.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. The other redhead. The one that goes with gives what's his name the flask. She was in Orange is the New Black. I don't know if you watched that.
Natasha
That's
Leone.
it. Yes, yes, that's her name. I always forget her name. But yeah, she's a phenomenal actress. Love her to death. And this looks actually really good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're agreeing with my point then that it's like there's too much stuff to watch
Yeah, there is.
where it's like you can't knock somebody or even myself when I'm like, listen, I want to watch that, but like I
There's
have
too
all
much
these
stuff.
other things, and it's not like I
No.
just if you and I could do this podcast and actually just like watch stuff like all the time and just talk about it, then like we'd get through it. But
Yes,
you
but
know, with
you
our
guys,
everyday lives and streaming and work, it's not possible.
it's not possible. No. Now, saying that, you all want to help support us to make this a reality,
That's true. Um,
then
you
we'll
know,
do it.
oh, absolutely. And if we can get a sponsorship by the lovely Razer, since we're wearing the same headphones,
I know, right? Actually, I got to buy another set for someone else in my family.
these are great, and I've had
They
these
are.
since I started streaming, which will be
Same here.
4 years this fall.
3 years.
Plug, and it's just they're great headphones.
Phenomenal.
So
Yeah,
Razer,
had them.
if anyone knows anyone at Razer, have them
Yes, let them
sponsor
know.
us.
Because not only that, I got the keyboard, I got the mouse.
I have the mouse. I don't have the keyboard. I have what's the keyboard I have?
I have an extra one if you want it.
No, I have a good keyboard. It's Red
It's a good
Dragon.
keyboard. This is a good keyboard. I like this
Red
keyboard a lot.
Dragon.
I like the mouse. After years and years of trying to find a good mouse, I finally found one I liked.
Yeah, mine's
And
just
it's
a
Razer.
Razer with a cord.
Yeah, so is mine.
We
Cord.
probably have the. Let me see
I have
the
the
front of it. No, mine's a little bit different. Mine's
mine's the
it's not
Basculix
gonna
V2.
pull, but it's like that.
Oh yeah, yeah, no,
It
mine
does the job.
I can actually take the buttons apart and actually
Yeah, see,
reconfigure
I
it.
just a
I
mouse is a
don't.
mouse.
I don't do that. I can if I wanted to. I just don't.
If I was some big time,
Huge gamer like
Call of
Ninja.
Duty,
Yeah, exactly.
Fortnite streamer,
Then yeah,
like I know Wayne plays a lot of Call of Duty
Call of
and
Duty
Warfare and
and
all that, then I would get like a super good mouse and all that. But
well, it's a good mouse. And like I said, I could change it if I wanted to, but I
sure,
have no need to, so I don't.
yeah. Um, but no, I agree. So I mean, I'm excited. There's a lot of stuff coming out,
Yes, definitely.
especially through February and March. So I'm right now. I don't know what you're watching right now, but right now
Right
I'm
now,
watching 1883, which is a prequel to Yellowstone.
yeah,
Um,
I heard about it.
and it's 10 episodes, hour each, and that's it. So it's kind of like a mini series almost, and
Yeah,
it's it's good so far. I've only watched one episode, but it's pretty good. I like the storyline, the characters. They have Faith Hill in it, Sam Elliott.
well, really.
Yeah, Faith Hill, Sam Elliott, and who's the other country star that's in it?
I don't ask me. I don't. I'm not a country fan, so I don't know
Tim
any other.
McGraw's in it.
Heard of him?
So it's very interesting because like you wouldn't think that Tim McGraw and Faith Hill would be like good actors and actresses, but not bad. Let's see who else they got that you would recognize. Billy Bob Thornton's in it.
I like Billy Bob Thornton.
Yep. Graham Greene, who you wouldn't know, but he's in it. So they got some good people in it, and it's just a little mini series. And watching that, and then probably by the time I finish that, two of those shows I listed off, by about 5 minutes ago. We'll be back, and I'll be knee deep in that shit till I'm caught up, and then I can start something new. For me, at least.
I just want you to watch Justified. I really do.
That'll happen this year. It's just when will I get to it? That's the problem.
I know you have a lot to, and that's why I don't harp on you about it.
No,
But
yeah.
it's such a good show. I
I
know how much you will enjoy it. That's
I
why.
know. That's the show that when I finish Blacklist, I think that's what I'll
That's
replace
what
it
you're
with
That's a good idea.
because it's one of those ones I like to have a show that like
Similar.
1883 Justified like that's been out where I can
Yeah.
watch that and then after a
That's
season
it.
ends, I can stop to go to the live shows that are coming out right
Right.
away. That's what I like to do.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just it's just such a great show. They did it perfect. I hope they do the new show or movie, whatever it is they're making, uh, just as good.
Do you like the like the mystery like crime kind of shows?
It depends. I do like some. I don't like a lot of them. There's only a select few that I do like. Like it has to have a really good story. It has to have really good characters in it for me to get into it.
So I would say you should look into and try Bosch. It's on Amazon Prime. It's based off of a good book series, and it centers around. I've talked about it. I think one of our first episodes, but it's got some good actors
Just Bosch.
and actresses. Bosch, Bosch. Um, it's already
BOSCH.
come out and complete. They have a sequel series that supposedly got a good rating for the first season that I haven't seen yet, but the original series is good.
Of course, Lance Reddick's is in it.
It's on. Is that a good thing or
He's
bad thing?
he's in everything.
It's on Amazon Prime. It was a decent show. I really liked it, and each season is centered around one specific case, but there's an overarching storyline as well.
Like I said, I'll give it. Like I said, it has to grip me for me to watch it. If it
Sure.
doesn't grip me, then I can't.
So
So I can only thing I can do is just try.
yep, try give it like 2 or 3 episodes and let me know what you think.
Yeah, I'll
But
give it a shot.
definitely a good one.
I'll start it when you start Justified. How's that? Fair enough.
So probably March then.
Alrighty then. Remind me in March.
It just depends on. Oh shit! Well, that's gonna be shitty because like the problem that you're putting me into is that Blacklist is February, and then you have Mando, Ted Lasso, and possibly Arcane, are all gonna be in March/April, and then the possibility of Better Call Saul is April as well. So like you're putting
I
me into a
know.
predicament where I have
No,
four shows
I,
out at once that I have
I
to
know
all
how
watch.
I know how to fix it.
No,
No, I know how to fix it.
go on.
Take away reading for 1 year.
Reading for one. I already made
For just 1 year.
I made a personal
I know you did.
commitment.
To read one book a month or something
One
like
book a
that.
month, like, but I read actually 15 books last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to match or go
Beat it.
beyond that. Which I finished
Yeah.
one book so far. I could finish a second book probably before a month end, maybe even a third if I can finish the third Harry Potter book because I'm rereading those.
Why reread something you already read?
Because I haven't read the Harry Potter books in probably like probably 7-8 years, maybe more. So I want to reread them because I love them. But your book is after that third one, the Harry Potter book. I'm going to continue that. So
Yes. Well, what you think of the first book?
I thought it was
You
good.
never.
Did we
Yeah.
not talk about it?
No, I don't think. Not on podcast anyway.
It was good. So we're talking about, for those who don't aren't a continuous listener here, we're talking about the Sandman Slim series of books. And I read the first one. I thought it was good. Definitely was different the way that the book was styled in the fact that
Yes.
there's no chapters. It's just one
Yes.
continuous like just.
Story.
So I basically had to like find a good stopping spot like every so often
It's
because
hard.
I'm like I'm not just gonna stop in the middle of like this fight or whatever like.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was like
And
not annoying, but it was
and,
just like I had to
and the
coordinate it.
and the problem is that it keeps going like that, so it's hard to find a spot to stop.
Yeah. So but it was good. I liked the character building.
Yes, you did a
I'm
good
not
job with
really
that.
sure where
story's going.
overall story is going to go. My intentions are that it's still going to follow very closely like what happened in the first book, and that it'll kind of come back full circle again at some point to be the main ending and main villain and all that. Just because I don't know, they dive too much into it, but I don't know. Maybe there's something bigger down the line. Obviously, the main. I guess this isn't, really a spoiler.
It's
But
not a new book. Yeah,
but
it's not a spoiler.
the main villain is not. It's part of the storyline involves like obviously good versus evil and like heaven and
Yes.
hell. For those who
Yes.
haven't read it, and the main villain is not the devil. I can tell you that at least right now.
Yes.
So
Lucifer.
we'll just have to see. I don't know.
Well,
Um,
you finished the book. What did you think at the very end where he actually spoke to Lucifer? And that little scene that he had with that.
yeah, I mean, it seemed like Lucifer's just like, you're pretty strong. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like force you to come back, but like, it
Yeah.
almost seemed like Lucifer would like he'd be like on his side if he ever needed Lucifer's help to like battle people, which
Seemed
could
like
see
that, right?
happening, but I could also see that he would need to help him. So it's like not a bad
Yeah.
thing.
No.
I will tell you, like at points, it's like a little annoying. The guy's a little annoying where he's just like, I'm like, dude, just they're not
Stop
being,
whining.
just stop whining, like just come on.
Yeah. He
But
whines
it
a little
wasn't
much.
like
I'll give you that.
it wasn't like a point where it was like annoying where I wasn't gonna keep reading, but it was like, all
No.
right, dude, like
Right.
come on.
And as soon as you think that it kind of happens, he kind of stops whining and just gets the shit done. As soon as you think it.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, no, it's a good book, and it gets better and better as he progresses in the books.
Good.
The second one takes a little is a little different from the rest of them. So once you get through that, it continues on a lot better.
And that's
But like
fine because I like a
sequels
good
are
sequel.
always harder to make.
Yep.
It's the first books and the ones after that are usually the best.
And there's a good for those out there that like the magical fantasy genre, there's a good series, 3 books. They're actually going to release, I think it's later this year, a 4th one in the realm. I don't think it's directly tied to the first 3, but A Darker Shade of Magic is what it's called, by V.E. Schwab. And it's really good. I would highly recommend it. Definitely a good series. Only 3 books. So if you like that fantasy genre kind of style, more adult than I guess I would equate it and relate it to like Harry Potter. If we talk about
How would you put it towards the Magicians? Similar to the Magicians?
never read Magicians.
Have you ever saw the show?
Once a long time ago.
Yeah. 'Cause
Um,
that's a great book. That's more adult like magic like realm that
Yeah.
I like a lot. So
yeah. So obviously we covered a lot today, but there's a lot of
We did.
a
a lot of
good
stuff
shit,
coming
guys.
out.
Yeah.
Yes.
So of course we'll be back for March. We'll get our final thoughts if we remember to think about them on the game. You'll see who's going to be right and wrong, of course, based on when this comes out. And in March we'll have a lot more to talk about some video games coming out, more thoughts on Harry Potter, Last of Us, probably initial thoughts for me on Blacklist.
Yes.
So
Hopefully more
lots of
information on the Fallout game TV show coming out.
And I think next time we'll definitely have in my opinion, a fan favorite guest star back. I think
God.
having the Marvelous Tay back
That'd be great.
Would be great to have her back for March. So we'll see if we can do that, and we will get this back more consistent. We're gonna
Real
work
life
on that.
things happened a lot, so I apologize for that.
Nah, that's all right. We'll get back more consistent, everyone, and we appreciate everybody. So as always, we are both on Twitch. Have our schedules. Monday through Thursday basically is our Sunday through Thursday, I should say, is when
Yes.
we stream both pretty much almost like
Opposite from each other.
opposite, which works out well.
Yes, it does.
So we're on Twitch.
That's why we get along so well.
That's true. So Twitch, we're both on YouTube. Not active there as much, but we are on Twitch
No.
and very active, as well
Yes.
as social medias. Obviously, subscribe to the YouTube channel of That's Entertainment Podcast. We also post this on Spotify. We post this on Apple Music, all places that you can get
Google Podcast,
Buzzsprout.
everywhere. Yes.
So please make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, like, wherever. And thank you guys very much. We appreciate it. We will be back next month with more entertainment talk from the both of us.
Peace, love, and game.
Positive vibes.